Hi, welcome to Viking Hunting and Canning. Before we begin, please subscribe, like, hit the notifications, share our videos, and leave us some comments. I told you that I was going to be baking some cookies to go along with my sale. And I have everything on this end of the table that I have to take to the sale. But, well, couple things. The Tostios go to the deer. But here in a pan, I am doubling this recipe. I'm making Valkyrie cookies. I'm going to give you what the single batch recipe is. So, you would have, first of all, is a quarter, wait a minute, this is mixed up. Yes, a quarter cup of butter. And you want to take this over to the stove and melt this. Now this is going to... So we're going to let that go for just a minute and melt. This is our just pure butter for this one. So while that's melting, I will show you the next ingredients. I have what would be a quarter cup of brown sugar, 2/3 cup of white sugar, and 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. Is that almost melted? I just turn it off and let it finish melting. And then you're going to need a quarter cup of sour milk. And also in here, I have a teaspoon of vanilla and about a teaspoon of mint extract. In here, I have, this takes 1 cup of flour and a quarter teaspoon of baking soda. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our pan, and I get a mixer here. So what we do, we add to this all our sugars and cocoa. And this will start smelling really good. Okay, that's not going to like completely mix because there isn't enough liquid in here. If you worked at it long enough, I'm sure it would. And then what we're going to add is our sour milk and vanilla and mint. Give that just a little mix. Now, I wouldn't have had to use such a big pan, but I like having some room to get it all mixed up real good. So, and then we go ahead and add our flour and baking soda. So we'll get this mixed in real well. And this recipe is very good. You will next, after we get all this mixed in, we will chill this for an hour. At least an hour. If you go over an hour, it's okay. It won't hurt it. This is one that you could make and, you know, go ahead and do it up the next morning. Okay, let's see. Just a little more. And you can see it's not super stiff at this point. What you'll do, like I said, is take this, refrigerate it for an hour minimum, and then we'll come back and bake those. But I'm also making another kind of cookie today. This is, again, a recipe of mine. You won't find it anywhere else. So, we'll be back to you. Okay, we decided to call these Valkyrie cookies because a Valkyrie is when a Viking dies on the battlefield. A Valkyrie comes down and carries them up to Valhalla. And I just always have loved, it's kind of like the Viking angels, you know. I always just kind of loved that story. So, these are her Valkyrie cookies. Okay, welcome back. Now I am making a recipe I came up with, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer, probably closer to 10 years ago. They are red dragon cookies. Now these are a pretty easy recipe. It does take quite a few things. So what we're going to start out with is 2/3 cup of oil. Whatever oil you prefer to use. I just use vegetable oil for this. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we're going to add our 3/4 cup of sugar. And we're going to give this a little stir. Get that sugar blended in. And I did forget something, so give me just a moment. I forgot 2 eggs. Okay, what I have here now is 2 eggs. Now you can beat those before you put them in, however you do it. I do not. I just throw them in there. Now, in this bowl, I have 4 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which you can see right there is my pink Himalayan. So we're going to go ahead and mix this all in. Now, I was telling you about the Valkyries earlier. The reason that we decided to name them that is because the Valkyries come down from Valhalla And they get the Vikings who have died in battle, which is a very honorable death. Now, a lot of times those battlefields are a lot of mud by the time they're done battling. So therefore the chocolate cookies are Valkyrie cookies. Now this is a little dry, but what I am going to do is add my cherries, which this is about 14 maraschino cherries, cut up, not in tiny chunks. I wanted something fairly big. So we're going to add these because we want all that juice that's in there. And I think we're going to need some more juice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of juice in this bowl from the cherries. And we're going to slowly add that in to make our extra fluid. And therefore, red cookies. Oh boy, I didn't even go anywhere near enough. Let's just dump that. Now, you want this to come out to a nice dough that you're just going to spoon onto the cookie sheets. So, we're going to add just a tiny bit more juice. And that's what you do. You just add until you think you have enough. This is the nice thing about the maraschinos. And this has very little really sugar added to the recipe because the maraschinos and the juice is very sweet. Okay, now that I have this all mixed up, we're going to add the rest of our ingredients, which is about a cup of coconut, and a cup and a half of chocolate chips. Now we just get those incorporated, and then I will show you.
You need help.
Yeah.
Take this. Don't touch the screen in any way, or else otherwise you'll have it jumping.
Mr. Viking usually ends up doing my last stir. It's just a little easier for him than me. Now, I also have the oven warming to
warmed.
375 degrees. Now, as Mr. Viking was saying to me earlier, you could always add some red food coloring if you wanted these to come out redder. And you could add maybe nuts to it if you prefer cookies with nuts. Trying to think what else you might want to add.
Let go of the bowl.
I'm trying to hold it still for you.
I'm trying to spin it.
Okay, you think those are incorporated?
I don't know. I didn't see an LLC on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what an LLC is? It's a liability.
Yeah.
It's for businesses.
Yes. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my baking sheets with non-stick spray. This is just a butter spray. And then what we do is take our yummy cookies and we just place them on in spoonfuls. And you can make these as big or as little as you like. That's really up to you on the size of your cookies. I tend to make fairly large cookies. I always have. But growing up, we had my brother who could eat anybody under the table. And he was a toothpick his whole life. Sorry about my beeping. But I think we're just going to, for now, put, yeah, we can get a dozen on there. Now, this is a lot of stuff in a cookie. And then what we have to do with these is, like I said, our oven is at 370. And we're going to bake these 8 to 10 minutes. Now you'll see, you'll be able to tell they're done. But you want a nice little brown on the bottom. So, I'm going to place this one in the oven.
Might as well wait till the other tray's done. Place them both at the same time. They come out at the same time.
What? Okay, yeah, when I came up with this recipe, I was just sitting around one day, and I said, what can I make cookies out of? And I looked around and had these cherries. It was just a small jar of them. I looked around some more, found some coconut. I thought, hey, that's always good together, cherries and coconut. Well, myself, I love chocolate, so I had to add some chocolate into it. And there's where it came from. It was just looking around, seeing what I could throw together. Try and make a good cookie.
You should have seen the ones that she made with toothpaste.
No. I'm going to try that just to see what you think.
To be a good prank.
Yeah.
It really would. That'd be a good prank.
Kind of make gobs.
With toothpaste?
With toothpaste in the center.
So if you guys want to see a prank, whenever this here gets uploaded, then what you have to do is hit that like, hit that subscribe, and leave a comment of yes, if you want to see that the gob's made with toothpaste for doing a practical pranks, and turn around and hit that notification button. And I think I ain't gonna say who the first person is we're gonna get.
I was just gonna
because
say, you have to find people to get.
Well, no, I already know who to get.
No.
I already know who to get. You know who they are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both related to them. So let's just put it that way.
Okay. Last cookie. Now I try to make sure that the chocolate chips are stuck to them. Oh, come on. Get over there. Doing the others. Okay. We're going to put these in the oven. No. Okay, we're going to give those 8.
I'll give them 10 because there's 2.
Get that on. So our timer is set. And as you can see, I have a big bowl of them to make tonight. And I will be back to show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, let's see how they turned out. I'm going to take one tray and just set them up here for a few minutes. And what we'll do is take these over to the table where I have a old tablecloth that I use for cookies. Oop. That's a very hot chocolate chip he just stole.
I didn't steal it. I don't steal. I confiscate.
Let's show you. Yep, these ones got really dark. You know, when I was younger, I used to have to purposely burn 2 trays of cookies every time I baked cookies, because that is the way my brother and father preferred them. Now, just to let you know, the reason these are darker, we actually let them in the oven for an extra 2 minutes because there was 2 pans and they were so close together. But that is my red dragon cookies. So, while you're here, I'm going to wipe my hands off. And we're going to get the chocolate cookies out of the refrigerator. And I'll show you how we bake those.
You want to move that?
Yeah, I'm going to use this.
All right.
Hmm?
It's good.
It's good?
A little warm.
Yeah. Okay, with the chocolate cookies, you just want them to get firm. You want them very firm because you're going to take it and roll them into a ball. Do not flatten them. Just roll them in a ball and put them on the cookie sheet. And it is very stiff. But that's great. Less mess.
More filling. Okay, I'm gonna eat this one here to leave room for that tray.
Oh, okay. I'll move my tray now.
No, that was a lie.
But
I just wanted another cookie.
I think we all knew that.
Now I gotta leave the rest alone till those are done.
Yeah, he's my taste tester. He always has been, so. You want to try and get these the same size. Now, you could use one of the cookie scoops or something like that, which I do have, but
They're about ping pong size. Ping pong ball.
yeah, everybody wants to make them. Really, just make them the size you want for your family. If you've got small kids, you may not want them as large. But when the kids get older, they want a cookie.
I don't know any kid that wants a cookie.
Well, yeah,
Most kids
that's
want
true.
boxes of cookies.
That's true, but most moms don't want their kids to have boxes.
That's why kids have dads.
To give them cookies?
Well, we'll give them cake and ice cream for breakfast before sending them to school.
Ah. Okay. Now these bake, again, 8 to 10 minutes. So we'll put this batch in. Put them in this way. We'll set our timer. We're gonna go 9, let's go 9 minutes. And then when these are done, I'm gonna go wash my hands. When these are done, I'll show you how they look. Okay, now I am going to go ahead and get another tray of the,
Get that cleaned off.
yeah, well here's, yeah, it's best to scrape off the burnt chocolate chips, because you'll have those about every pan. So we're going to
Flatten them out.
again. We're going to try and shape these a little better. We might try some different methods for this. But as you can see, this dough is stiff enough too that we can kind of shape them a little. So we're going to do that with this batch. Oh, okay. Time for me to sit.
Tell them why you have to sit.
My back. I am in the process of getting surgery for the second time. this time they are going to fuse the bottom of my spine. Well, not clear at the bottom, but it's in the lower back. So I'm not exactly sure when that's happening. Probably within the next month. I'm hoping.
What does that do for your hunting?
That pretty much takes me out of hunting. That's the bad part. But the way I am at this point, I don't think hunting would be going so great anyway with the back.
Ain't you glad I got that stand and that video camera now?
Yes.
Because now you don't have to go. You can stay here with the dogs.
Yeah, I don't have to be a what do we say? A
hunter's widow.
A hunter's widow, yeah.
That's the only thing I cheat on my wife about.
Yeah. Cheat with the woods.
I cheat with the woods. The woods is my mistress.
Yeah, well, that's okay. There could be a lot worse things that he could be out doing. And thank God that he is not one of those people.
Well, I don't go around cheating on you. I don't go out, gallibatting around and getting stoned and wasted.
Drunk.
Well, if I do get drunk, you know who it's with.
Yes.
You know exactly who it's with, and I'm at his house when it happens. And that's normally because we're skinning a deer and butchering deer. And
yeah, and then you have a couple of hard ales or beer.
Well, we have beer and some wicked ales.
Yeah.
And this time now we got some Jack Daniels up there. We got some Jim Beam. And we'll be having moonshine too.
Oh, I'm going to have to come with you. That all sounds so good. Sometimes, I'm not a beer drinker, but every once in a while, that really cold beer is real good. And I'm not as much of a shot drinker.
I am.
As, Mr. Viking is a shot drinker. I prefer mine mixed, but that's just me. I guess it's kind of maybe a woman thing.
I like mine mixed with my stomach acids.
Okay. Okay, we have a few more minutes, and then we'll see how our chocolate cookies come out. For now, I'm going to just move this to the stove. And I will be back because I have to go wash my hands. Okay, I'm going to turn this timer off. And we are going to pull this batch out. And we're going to put those right here. And sit our dragon cookies in. Now, these are very soft. So, letting them sit just a few minutes on the tray will help. So we'll take this over here and see if they are ready. Perfect. Now, like I said, these have that little bit of mint in them. And I can smell it. I love mint.
That ain't mint you smell.
Yeah.
And no, it's not liquid ass fart spray either. That's the real McCoy. Ask the Hatfields. That's okay. Here, I'll help you with that one.
Like I said, they're very soft when they first come out.
That's good. That tastes minty.
Minty? Too much mint?
Uh-uh.
Alright. Okay, so that is
Oh, that's
how...
good.
That is the cookies I'm going to be taking to my sale on the 5th at Patton Park.
If it don't pour rain.
Yeah, I hope it's not pouring down rain. We've had a lot of rain. And if you look at our videos, there is the one showing what's out back here.
Well, up until the 15th, you're supposed to have 8 days of no rain and a week of rain.
Yeah. It's going to be nasty.
So that's going to be barely enough time for drying out the yard to clean it and then mow it.
Right.
So.
But I wanted to tell you, I had said I had prior surgery on my back. When they did that, I have spinal stenosis. And they just kind of cleaned out the one side. My surgeon called it a roto-rooter job. And I also had one herniated disc. Now, this was 2 years ago. And I developed MRSA on my spine. It was like a pocket of it. And I went septic. So I was hospitalized 22 days with that. Came home with a port and was on antibiotics IV for about 3 months.
Yeah, I enjoyed playing doctor. It was actually fun. Not for you, but
No.
I actually did enjoy taking care of you.
Yeah, that was a long recovery.
Yeah. I didn't go anywhere for all that, basically.
I actually had to have 2 different IVs because the second time I started feeling worse again, I had developed a secondary infection in my muscles. So, I was a mess. And then a year ago, I had a herniated disc in my neck, which you've probably noticed, that they go in through the front to repair the back. So I got the disc repaired.
Point at it.
Oh, right here. And then a couple of months ago, I found a mass in my neck. And let's see, it's been, well, I found it 4 months ago. They removed as much as they could of it. I think they got about 97, 98% of it. And they called it a desmoid type cancer. Meaning, the only thing I understand from that is that it will remain in my neck. It's not going to spread through my body, but it will continue to grow. So I am on a chemo medication to keep it from growing. Now, I've been on that for 3 months, and so far it is working. So, gotta be happy about that. But now we gotta see about the second back surgery. Okay, so as you saw, the first batch of cookies came out a little dark, so that's okay. Mr. Viking is enjoying them, so he's already had 3 folks. I think the 4th one. Yeah, he's eating the 4th one right now. So, if you have any questions about the recipes or anything, please put them in the comments. I'll get back to you with them. And please subscribe, like, hit the notification, and share the videos.